Hi everyone, Boone here. Welcome back to Beyond the Brick. We have all 22 of the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts collectible minifigures. Megan Crookshank is joining me for this video. She is going to be our Wizarding World character expert. Thank you for joining us, Megan.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Is there anything in particular you're excited to see in this minifig series?
This minifig series has some really great details. It's different from some of the box sets that have come out and some of the sets from the past as well. So I'm really excited to see what kind of details they've brought for us this time.
Let's crack these things open. So we are going to start with the Fantastic Beasts characters. We got a Newt.
This is Newt Scamander. He is different from the Lego Dimensions series. His torso's been upgraded. Picket has been added. Picket wasn't on his lapel in the earlier Lego Dimensions version. He has his wand, his suitcase, which is a newer piece to this series, and then the Niffler. I like the facial expression. I love the detail with the pocket watch that you can see on his clothing and the printed pieces. I think he's a pretty cool piece to collect. Next up in our Fantastic Beasts cast, we have Queenie Goldstein. Tina is an Auror. Her outfit has been upgraded from her Lego Dimensions set. The tones are a little bit more blue instead of gray. She has her classic hot dog piece, which the bun is actually in a nougat color, which is new. And she has a wand. Here's the back side with some nice detailed on the back. Tina has two faces, one that is her bright and smiling self and her other, which is down to business, a little bit more serious when she's taking care of catching criminals since she's an Auror. And she works for MACUSA, which stands for Magical Congress of the United States of America. We have our No-Maj here, which is the American version of Muggle. His name is Jacob Kowalski. He runs into Newt during a coincidence at the bank, and notice he also has a briefcase, which is similar to what Newt has as well. And inside of his, he has some pastries. I love the detail on the front lapel printed piece. Kind of shows that his jacket doesn't fit quite right, and he's just a really fun character. Included with Jacob is some pastries in his briefcase because he is trying to open up a bakery. And that's part of the storyline from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
And we can see that Jacob Kowalski does not have any printing on his back, but the hair pieces in these figures are pretty impressive. Next up we have Queenie Goldstein. What can you tell us about her, Megan?
Queenie is the younger sister of Tina. She also works at MACUSA. Queenie, in her spare time, likes to bake, and so this is a new strudel piece that we see here.
And we've got a nice printing on the back of Queenie's dress.
Really like the details on the printed dress, both on the front and the back. I think it really adds and kind of references the movie really well.
And look at her hair.
Look at those curls. So next up we have Credence Barebone. Credence is an adopted son, and he's kind of a troubled youth. He actually does have some magical history and powers, and so in his hand you're going to see a leaflet that is actually anti-magic, and he's just a very conflicted youth. Boone, what are some of the things you appreciate about some of the pieces we got here?
Well, this leaflet is one of the 3 printed tiles in the entire series, and I love the stitching in the print on the front of his jacket. He doesn't have any printing on the back of his torso or legs, but he does have a double printed headpiece.
Last up for Fantastic Beasts, we have Percival Graves. Only one comes in the box set, so he's going to be pretty hard to find. He is actually the director of security for MACUSA. And he has a little bit of a dark secret. I really appreciate, even though he's kind of low profile, he's got some really great printing on the front of his uniform. So I'm really excited to see what some of his secrets could be.
I love that he even has printing on the side of his sleeve. That is pretty cool.
He even has some printing on the back. Definitely looks like one dapper minifig for sure.
Yeah, and a 2-tone hairpiece.
He's very styling. So Percival Graves is a cover-up, so if you switch his face around, Percival actually transforms into Gellert Grindelwald. Here again is the full cast of Fantastic Beasts. I'm really excited for August 1st because that is when LEGO will also be releasing the sets that are connected with this movie, and there's actually a second film coming out in November, Fantastic Beasts, The Case Against Grindelwald. So I'm really looking forward to it. All these characters get set back in the 1920s, and so it's really interesting to see the Wizarding World back then.
Fantastic. And now we are moving on to Harry Potter figures. We're gonna dump out, it is Harry with the Invisibility Cloak.
So this is Harry Potter. This was his Christmas present, his first Christmas at Hogwarts. And this is a pretty special minifig. Both it's from the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone, as it was referred to in the book title. And this is a pretty special piece. He's got his pajamas.
So here we have Harry with his invisibility cloak on.
Can you find Harry? Because I can't.
Harry, take off that cloak.
Oh, hey, Harry, there you are. So Harry is got his invisibility cloak on. I love the detail on his pajamas and even the detail on the inside of the cloak itself. And he's with his wand.
This Harry figure does have the shortest legs that do not bend, and his torso is printed on both sides. Here we have Neville Longbottom with a mandrake and his earmuffs on top of his hairpiece.
So some new pieces to notice is with this next series, they actually have some medium-sized legs that are actually movable, which is really cool because as you're building the sets, you can stay with the timeline of the characters growing with the book.
The back of Neville's torso is printed, and he also has a double printed head.
Neville's second face looks like he can hear the cries of the mandrakes even through his earmuffs.
And I actually think this second print looks more like Neville.
I agree, and I like the redesign of the mandrake as well. I don't know, Neville's a favorite of mine, so it's kind of a beloved character no matter what. Here we have Draco Malfoy, of course, Harry Potter's arch nemesis at school. He is in his Quidditch gear for Slytherin House. Something pretty cool about this particular minifigure, besides the green broom, is the golden snitch. That's a cool piece.
We got a new golden snitch here.
So a lot of people are going to be seeking after that snitch. All right, the back of Draco is printed, and it looks like it's a hood, so that's pretty cool. He has the regular short legs, unlike Neville, who had the medium-sized posable movable legs. Dearest Luna Lovegood. Luna comes with actually a skirt instead of a printed piece this time. Her hair is new, and she's got her wand, purse, and copy of the Quibbler. Of course, gotta sport Dad's paper.
One of my favorite things about Luna's figure is the double printed headpiece featuring her sparkly glasses.
Helps her to see things that you normally can't see. That's how she found Harry Potter on the train. Here we're showing you a profile of Luna's lovely locks. Her hair is actually designed to go around her purse piece, which I think is kind of a pretty cool design by Lego.
Absolutely. Here we have Cedric Diggory. Is it Diggory?
Yes, it is Cedric Diggor. He is from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And Cedric is decked out in his Triwizard Tournament outfits. And he actually has the Triwizard Cup with him.
I want to take an extra moment to look at this Triwizard Cup. I just love the printing on this thing, and it's such a cool piece. I think a lot of people are going to be using this in a lot of different ways.
Cedric has printing on the back because it's his uniform. I think he's actually a pretty cool character to have in the series. He's a monumental part of the storyline, and he's pretty important to Harry. So I think it's a great honor that he's a part of this current series and release. Up next in this series, we have a whole bunch of Hogwarts students and with new, more detailed uniforms, and Harry and a lot of the students have their creatures with them. So we've got Hedwig, we have Crookshanks, Scabbers, whole lineup of different creatures that are a little bit new and kind of fun because you're going to be able to collect them in this new series.
Here we have Harry Potter with his school robes on.
Yes, these are Gryffindor's school robes, and he is accompanied by his ever faithful Hedwig, his trusty snow owl. These pieces are a little bit more detailed than some of them have been in the past in terms of their school robes. They've actually done a whole chunk of them of different characters, and I'm excited to watch and see them unfold. I
can just imagine people doing sig figs with these pieces of themselves dressed up as
of course.
House.
My sig fig Mega will be sporting Gryffindor coming here soon. Here we have the backside of Harry, again, printed piece with that hood kind of detail back there. I think that's pretty cool, and the two-tone is kind of awesome as well.
Absolutely.
And then Harry, of course, is also sporting the mid-sized legs, which, as a reminder, they are movable. So I'm really excited to see what vignettes are going to come out using this new feature.
Up next, we have Hermione Granger and her cat.
Crookshanks. So what partially makes me a Harry Potter expert is my last name is Crookshank, and so I get asked that question all the time. Oh, is your last name Crookshank? Like the cat from Harry Potter. So, of course, I had to fall in love with the series. So, Hermione has some really great detail on the front of her robe. I love the clasp, especially with her necktie. She is sporting the rock star hair. I kind of wish that they would have done her hair a little bit more crazy and true to the book. Because in some of the earlier versions, her hair was supposed to be, like, untamable.
Her hair does get a little more...
finessed.
Throughout the film series.
Yes, it does.
Another figure with the mid-size legs. Hermione also has printing on the back of her torso.
And her hair, even though it's the Rockstar hair, is actually in a pretty cool brown color, which I think is a little bit more unusual. So it'll be interesting to see how people use that piece in the future. And then, of course, the ever-faithful Crookshanks.
Next up, we have Ron Weasley and his rat Scabbers. One of the things that I think is notable about this minifigure is the hairpiece, which is the same as the new Han Solo from Solo, except we've got it now in the nougat color.
Ron's front of his school robes has some really great details, the kind of disheveled tie. Scabbers has actually been redesigned, even though he's secretly Peter Pettigrew. But all in all, pretty cool minifig to have. As with the rest of the Gryffindor crew, Ron has that hood that has been printed on the detail back of the minifig. Again, that luscious hair that is Han Solo and so much Ron Weasley. Here we have Cho Chang and her faithful owl, Pidgewiggin. Cho is actually Ravenclaw, so I think this minifig is going to be pretty popular because we have a really great Ravenclaw uniform, so it'll be interesting to see how people are going to utilize it.
I love the printing on this owl with a little bit of gold in there. Really great.
She's a little bit different than some of the other minifigures because she has that skirt piece that is new and it's not printed. Here we have the back of Cho Chang. Some printing right around the bottom part of her sweater, and all in all, some really nice, sleek black hair. I think she's kind of a special figure.
Yeah.
Sporting Gryffindor colors is our one and only Dean Thomas. He is a member of Gryffindor House, and he has a really great flag as well to sport his Gryffindor pride.
I love this flag. Man, can you imagine how people are going to use this flag?
There's going to be a lot of great mocks coming out from different builders, and I'm really excited to see exactly that. How are they going to utilize the flag? Some of these different minifigures. I'm sure they're going to buy them just for the uniforms alone. It's going to be pretty awesome to see. The back of Dean has both the hood and actually the printed scarf that's around him in general.
It's awesome. So iconic, the scarf of Gryffindor, right?
Yes, the gold and maroon. Gotta rock them with pride.
Moving on to our professors and some other characters. And here we have Gandalf.
That is not Gandalf. It is Albus Dumbledore. Come on, Boo.
I'm Dumbledore. He is magic. He came out of the bag in one piece.
So this is a new redesigned Dumbledore. Some of the past sets have him in his red robes. He is sporting a wonderful light blue today. And with him is his accessory, the pensieve. It is where he has collected memories from the past and where you pour them in and you actually dip your face in and you go into the memory and you're actually physically there. It's kind of a cool feature.
I think this piece is really cool because we get this dish, but it has the liquid print on the inside.
Here's a side shot with this new robe piece that LEGO just came out with. You're going to see it reflected on a couple of different of the professors coming up. And again, just kind of that throwback to simpler time with Dumbledore in the very beginning. Okay, I love this minifigure. This is Professor Sybill Trelawney. She's actually the divination professor at Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry. Man, just the detail alone. LEGO knocked it out of the park with this one. From the headband with the hair being all crazy to the teacup, even the printing on the front of her robe. Just every detail is just quite incredible. Like, I literally can picture Emma Thompson right now from the movie, and I see her reflected perfectly in this minifigure.
First of all, sand green is one of my favorite LEGO colors. So to have these torso and the robe pieces, and then just with this beautiful printing on them. It's just really fantastic. And the teacup, I love the teacup. And what a teeny tiny little print they got around the saucer of that teacup.
Let's look at this detail. Down to, like, you can see she's got necklaces on. That beautiful gold printing that is across her torso, even down to the bottom if you look around her skirt too. Just the multi-patterns and colors are pretty spectacular. Again, I think she's a really special minifig. I really adore her character and I'm excited to collect her.
Here we have Professor Flitwick. What a cool little figure. Another one with the very short legs. This guy just has some really neat accessories. I love the bow tie. I love the tails on his jacket. I love the megaphone.
He is not only head of Ravenclaw House, but he is also the Charms Professor. And so what's kind of really special about him is he's going to be pretty hard to collect as well.
Only one of him in this box.
Exactly. And just the details alone, we're going to flip him around. He even has like little tails on his coat. He's definitely one dapper gentleman. So he's actually a redesign and he looks more accurate to how he's portrayed in the movies. So definitely fans are raving about him. I think he's spectacular. So I'm really looking forward to collecting him. Hopefully I can find him in some of the sets when I'm out and about.
And I'd say a good face print for anyone wanting a Theodore Roosevelt minifigure.
And let's not forget that bow tie. That's such a great detail. Collectors are really excited about this one. This is Alastor Mad-Eye Moody. In the past, he was a super rare minifig that you could only get in one Harry Potter set. But now, in this series, he's going to be a little bit more accessible. He is redesigned, so he has not only his wand and his staff, but this minifig has a second head, and he actually turns into Artemus Crouch Jr., who is the son of the Ministry of Magic, and he's a Death Eater that basically kidnaps Alastor Moody and messes with the Triwizard Cup in order to serve the Dark Lord's purposes. So here's his transformation to Artemus Crouch Jr., and in his hand is a vial of Polyjuice Potion. And for those book readers who know, Polyjuice Potion, you have to brew it, and when you drink it, it helps you transform into whatever person you want to be. You have to have a piece of their DNA. So like in Harry Potter, in the movie, Hermione ends up grabbing hair from a cat, and so she kind of gets transformed half cat, half girl, and spent some time in the infirmary. However, this minifig itself is pretty cool to collect. The details on the front with the buckles I really like. I enjoy the two-tone, and it's very accurate to the movie and what Mad-Eye Moody looks like.
I think it's really interesting that each leg in this minifigure is a different two-tone. So we've got a darkish blue at the bottom half of the right leg, and then a light gray at the bottom half of the left leg. Just a really neat two-tone mold of these legs.
So the two-tone mold is actually reflected because Mad-Eye Moody actually was an Auror and lost a leg, and so that's actually what the staff is for earlier. It helps steady for him to walk because he literally has a mechanical leg. So I think it's pretty cool that LEGO took the time to mirror that in their production of this minifig.
And we also have the back of the torso printed here. Next up we have Dobby the House-Elf.
He has been redesigned. The past, his smile wasn't printed, it was actually molded. And Dobby's here obviously with his sock because that's what gained him his freedom. And Tom Riddle's diary. He has short legs, and that facial expression is pretty creepy, but it's kind of really accurate to the movie and how ethereal Dobby was.
Yeah, I don't like it. The back of his torso is printed, and we can see some dirty cloth there that he's dressed in. It's actually a pillowcase, right? Did they dress in?
Yeah, it actually was. And Dobby is sporting the short legs. And all in all, I think he's pretty accurate. You know, he is a character near and dear to my heart, but represented in this minifig, he definitely has that whimsical look about him. Here we have the Dark Lord, Lord Voldemort himself, with his ever faithful Nagini. So Nagini is actually a new piece. I'm pretty excited about him. The detail he's got both on his face and on his tail are pretty incredible. Again, Voldemort is sporting that new robe piece.
I just don't think there's any way to capture He Who Shall Not Be Named. in a way that's not creepy. So of course this is just a really weird looking minifigure to me, but definitely accurate to the character.
Most definitely. What's pretty special about this series is that they actually have not only minifigs for us to collect, but they also have different animals from Harry Potter, from Hedwig to Crookshanks to Pidgewiggin to Nagini, even Scabbers. And referencing back to Fantastic Beasts, there's the Niffler as well. So there's 6 different creatures that you have the opportunity to collect within this 22 minifigure set.
So that was all 22 of these limited edition figures. Megan, thank you so much for coming. Are you excited for August 1st?
I'm so excited for August 1st. They're
I am
limited
too.
edition. They're going to be wonderful to collect, and some of them are going to be pretty tough, so I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see great LEGO videos every day, please subscribe to Beyond the Brick. See you next time.
Bye.